go on and compete post-collegiately or professionally. It's not a sport that you can do into your 30s, 40s, 50s. So they know this is the end of their career and probably the end of a chapter that's been a huge part of their life. And to be able to come out here and show it at home is always fun. They're going to have the special treat today of being able to have a few parents here in the stands. That's something that we haven't seen this season. So I know the parents are excited to be here, and the gymnasts.
Yeah, great point to see the parents here, and you hear the Kent State fans in the stands just prior to the players being introduced, getting a little raucous up there in the upper portion here of the Mack Center. And coming into this afternoon's meet, the Cardinals ranked nationally 30th on vault, 29th on bars, 43rd on beam, and 28th on the floor. The Golden Flashes, they rank nationally 36th on the vault, 24th on bars, 34th on beam, and a very impressive, Shannon, 16th on the floor.
Yeah, Kent State has a lot of depth this year, and so in any week they have, 6, 7, 8 girls that have the difficulty and the skill level to compete in the lineup. So they know that they have the skills and the ability to do this, and the floor has been the highlight of this team.
Looking forward to the Kent State floor exercise, as we always are, and we'll certainly see Kent State if this is a squad that where every gymnast was able to put their best performance together today, we're likely to see a 197. Is it possible? I think anything is possible. Shannon, here this afternoon, it's Senior Day 2.0, however.
Yes. Because of COVID, they actually celebrated Senior Day at one of the very first home meets of the year, just because they didn't know how the season would look and if they would have a chance to finish and get to today. So luckily this team has been very healthy with regards to COVID, and they've been covering a lot of safety protocols and all the things that they need to do to compete well each week. And so we kind of get a chance to do a second Senior Day, and it's better to see it with the parents here and at the end of a season where I think they've been building and getting better each week.
Looking at the standings in the Mid-American Conference, wins and losses, Ball State is in first place, and Kent State falls into fifth place. But again, that NQS score, Kent State with a higher of the two schools. All-time histories between these programs. The Golden Flashes lead 59-21. The last meeting earlier this year, that was in Muncie, February 6th, where the Golden Flashes fell to the Cardinals 194.825 to 195.875. Since 2011, the Golden Flashes are 6-4 over the Cardinals and 4-1 in the Mid-American, in the Mack Center. Bryce Bigham in his 32nd season as head coach with the Golden Flashes. He is assisted by Craig Ballard and Sharon Sabin. Ball State is coached by Joanna Salim, and she is assisted by Scott Wilson and Cassandra Winger. Go through the lineups real quick for Kent State as we are getting set to get this one underway. They will start off on vault. It'll be Cammie Klein, followed by Rachel DeCavich, Kennedy Weinpert, Abby Fletcher, Olivia Amadei, and Sydney Chapman. For Ball State, they're on the bars. Marissa Nychek, Hannah Ruthberg, Arden Hudson, Megan Teeter, Grace Evans, Victoria Henry, Sandra Elsadak, and Kelly Sullick in an exhibition. And we are just about set to get underway in this Mid-American Conference matchup, the final home meet of the season between Kent State and Ball State. Cammie Klein on vault for Kent State as we are underway at the Mack Center.
Cammie starts this lineup with the Yurchenko full twist in the laid out position. She had a nice landing, a little bit low with her chest at the end, but a good leadoff vault for the Golden Flashes.
Cammie with a couple of 9.825s on the season on vault, that occurring against Western Michigan and Central. Turn our attention now over to Ball State as they begin on the uneven bars. This is Marissa Nychek.
Marissa starts her routine on the low bar, does a release move up to the high bar and back down to the low bar right away. Cast to a handstand. She's going to do 2 giants, get up her speed for a dismount, and finish with a half in, half out. Little step on her landing, but a clean routine to start off Ball State.
Take a look at Rachel DeCavich now on vault for Kent State. Rachel with a couple of 9.775s this year, looking to best that here in the final home meet for the Golden Flashes. They'll travel to Bowling Green next Friday night and then on to the MAC Championships. Here is the sophomore out of Champion, Ohio, Rachel DeCavich.
Rachel does a nice laid out Yurchenko as well. One step back on her landing, but a good vault for her. And I see she is back into the all-around lineup today, so she's going to be competing on all 4 events.
It's a 9.7 on the vault. I beg your pardon, on the bars for Marissa Nychek. This is now Hannah Ruthberg. Nychek season high 9.8 on the bars. And here is Ruthberg.
Does a nice shoot over to the low bar, lands right in that handstand position. That's what the judges are looking for. Two giants into a half in, half out dismount. One step on her landing. Another good routine for Ball State.
Kennedy Weinpert for the Golden Flashes over on the vault. Kennedy has competed 3 times in the vault. Best score of the season against Central Michigan right here at the MAC Center, 9.825.
Nice vault for Kennedy. She did that. Yurchenko laid out, full twist. Great height, good landing.
Yeah, nice vault by Kennedy. Kent State looking to improve upon that vault score last week at Northern Illinois. Coaches thought they might have performed a little bit better than what the results were, but nonetheless, dropping that heartbreaker to the Huskies. We'll go back over the bars, and this is Arden Hudson now.
Arden chose a beautiful handstand position on the bars. Great body position, good toe point. She does a giant right into a full twist, double back tuck, hop on her landing. But that's 3 good scores for Ball State on the bars.
Yeah, that's a solid bar routine by Hudson. A couple of others that we want to take a look at is Evans and Teeter of Ball State. They are respectively 3rd and 9th in the MAC on the bars.
Oh. So Abby kind of bailed out of that one. Looked like she didn't have good hand position on the table, and she didn't end up finishing her full twist. Normally she goes all the way around and lands on her feet. She did a layout half, and they'll score it from there.
Yeah, certainly disappointing for the senior Abby Fletcher with a season high 9.85 on the vault, that against Eastern Michigan. Picking up Abby would be Olivia. She would be next for the Golden Flashes. This is Megan Teeter.
Megan's a local gymnast from nearby Copley, Ohio. She competed for Gymnastics World. She did a really big Tkachev there, but just missed her right hand on the bar, missed her catch.
So Megan will chalk back up, get back on the bar, and finish her routine. Kent State will be looking to Olivia Amade to help pick up Abby Fletcher on the vault. Again, Megan coming into this afternoon's meet as an NQS on the bars of 9.831. She is currently 9th in the Mid-American Conference.
Double front dismount. So it's a good finish to a routine where she did have to take a fall in earlier. So she will be looking to have 3 other events that are great events for her coming up today.
Here's Olivia, the sophomore out of Detroit, Michigan, for the Golden Flashes now.
There's a nice one. Olivia does the Yurchenko full. Confident and strong.
We'll see if Olivia can best that 9.8 against Eastern Michigan earlier in the season. That was that peanut butter match. If you remember earlier in the year, the Golden Flashes competed against Eastern Michigan 3 times. This will be Grace Evans now. Over on the bars. Again, Grace is 3rd in the Mid-American Conference in this competition. She got a high of the season, 9.9 with an NQS of 9.863 on the bars.
.9775 for Olivia on the vault.
8.975 was Megan Teeter's score on bars for the Cardinals.
Nice release move there. Beautiful shoot over to a handstand on the low bar. Getting ready for her last handstand of the routine. Giant full twist into a double back tuck, stuck landing.
Very nice routine by Grace Evans. This is now Sydney Chapman. Sydney, the senior from Mineral Wells, West Virginia.
Okay, Yurchenko full twist, laid out. She was a little bit low on her landing, but she recovered well. They'll need that score to make this vault lineup.
Sydney season high 9.775 occurring against Eastern Michigan. This will be Victoria Henry over on the bars for the Cardinals. As we await the score for Grace Evans. 9.825 for Grace Evans.
Nice pack salto on the bars. It's a release move in between from the high bar to the low bar. Really difficult to do. Toe to hand, changes her position, double front. Dismount with 1 step forward on her landing, but that was a good routine.
Now the Cardinals, with the exception of the one fall, look pretty good on the bars.
Yeah, very consistent over there.
Ball State as a team ranks 3rd in the Mid-American Conference on bars, as we'll get a couple of exhibitions now for Ball State. Sandra El-Sadak and then Kelly to the Max Center this afternoon, Shannon. We had a Florida-like sky, but not the Florida-like temperatures.
Yes, it's great to have the sunshine out there. That snow's melting and definitely ready for spring this season.
As we'll take a look at Sandra on the bars for Ball State.
Toe to hand, right to a Tkachev. Beautiful pack salto to the low bar. Good dismount. Wow. Ball State's really showing difficulty. This is their 7th girl in the lineup, so this is an exhibition routine, but a lot of difficulty in there, and you can see they have a lot of depth on uneven bars.
Yeah, a lot of depth, a lot of amplitude on that dismount and stuck landing. Nicely done. That'll bring up Kelly Sullick, Ball State. Sullick, a freshman out of Mason, Ohio, down around the Cincinnati area. Looking forward to vault for Ball State. A couple of vaulters to keep an eye on. Victoria Henry, the freshman out of Woodbridge, Virginia. She's third in the Mid-American Conference. And Arden Hudson, the senior out of Doylestown, PA, fifth in the Mid-American Conference on vault. 9-5, 7-5 is the score for El Sadak. Here's Kelly Sullick now.
Interesting 1.5 dismount. Lots of difficult dismounts over there for Ball State. I'd like to see some of the different ones that that are harder to do, like the blind landings and a lot of the twisting.
Well, that'll wrap up the first round of competition here this afternoon at the Mack Center. Kent State make their way over to the bars, while the Cardinals will make their way over to the vault. For Kent State, taking a look at the bars, certainly we want to watch Rachel DeCavich. She's been performing very well lately for Kent State. The sophomore out of Champion, Ohio, with an NQS of 9.856. She's currently fifth in the Mid-American Conference on the bars. And, of course, Jade Brown, the super senior out of Lansing, Michigan. Jade with an NQS of 9.844, seventh in the Mid-American Conference. And speaking of Jade Brown, it is senior day here at the Mack Center. Jade has competed on vault, bars, and floor during her time here at Kent State. She was named the Mack Specialist of the Week as a freshman after scoring a career-high 9.925 on the floor against Eastern Michigan. And she tied that career high last season against George Washington in one of her 7 career first-place finishes at the 2019 Mack Championships. Jade scored a season-high 9.9 on the floor to tie for first place and was named first-team All-Mac on the floor. Jade also tied for 11th place at the 2019 Mack Championships on bars. She has a career high of 9.9 on bars and a career high of 9.8 on vault. Jade is a 3-time WCGA Scholastic All-American and was named to the 2020 Mid-American Conference All-Academic Team. She was also awarded the Janet H. Bachna Memorial Endowment, and Jade 2 weeks ago was the Mid-American Conference Specialist of the Week. Just a joy to watch Jade over the last 5 years here at Kent State. Hudson with a 9.85 earlier in the season, February 6th at Eastern Michigan.
Arden does a handspring double full twist, something you don't see very often in collegiate gymnastics.
Here's Olivia Amade on the bars for the Golden Flashes. Olivia with a 9.825 season high against Central Michigan.
Olivia mounts right to the high bar, does a giant full twist inside to a big Tkachev. Great catch. And then a bail to the low bar. Nice handstand. It's looking great. Beautiful body position in the air. Giant full twist right into a double back tuck. Nice landing. That's a wonderful leadoff routine for the Golden Flashes.
Here is Olivia Ostendorf of the Cardinals.
Olivia does Yurchenko full twist in the laid out position, little hop forward at the end. But nice height in the air.
Now, according to my notes from Ball State, that would be her first competition in the vault this season.
Yeah, as the teams go on through the season, they're trying to figure out their best lineup, the best order to for the girls to compete in, and really trying to figure out all the ins and outs that they're going to do when they get to the MAC Championships. So you'll see the lineup changes. Different girls will be in different positions, but some will come into the lineup and others will go out. So it changes a lot throughout the year.
Well, here's Madison Trott for the Golden Flashes. 9.75 is the season best for Madison. Madison, the junior out of New Wilmington, Pennsylvania.
Nice release move. She's onto the low bar. She was a little bit crooked there, but she muscled through it, and she's back up to the high bar. Nice handstand. Strong Giants building up momentum into a beautiful double layout dismount. Look at that stuck landing.
Yeah, you're right. A little crooked on that lower bar. What great strength to recover and to finish that routine, and a stuck landing. Here is Marissa Nychek. Season best of 9.8.
Yurchenko tucked 1.5 twist, little step to the side, but that's a really difficult vault. Lots of twisting and flipping in the air.
Up next for the Golden Flashes would be Madison Iannuzzo as we await the scores for Madison Trot. Iannuzzo with a couple of season highs of 9.825. She's been very consistent on the bars all year for the Golden Flashes.
She has, and she's competed in this third spot all the way through the season, and so she's used to being in this position, getting ready for a great bar routine.
No, Madison Trot with a 9.675 on her bar routine.
Good to Katya for her release move. Back up to a handstand on the high bar. Shoot over to the low bar. Really hit that handstand strong. That was great. Back up to the high bar, getting ready for her dismount. She finishes with a double layout. Little hop landing, but nice routine there.
Again, I think she's been the most consistent, one of the most consistent between she and Jade Brown on the bars all season long for the Golden Flashes.
Yurchenko laid out half twist for Ball State.
That was Stephanie Schweikert. Nice vault. That'll bring up Sarah Haxton for Kent State. Over on the bars, Haxton with a season high of 9.85 against Western Michigan as we await the scores for Iannuzzo. Head coach Bryce Biggin having a conversation with Sarah, coaching her up. As we'll get the scores posted, a 9.75 on the Schweikert vault, 9.8. Up next for the Cardinals is Victoria Henry, third in the MAC on vault.
Sarah's got a great start going to her bar routine. She did her release move. She's over to the low bar, back up to the high bar. Two strong Giants, just looking for a great dismount here. Double layout, little low with her knees, but she just took one step there, and I think that she'll be happy with that routine as a whole today.
Victoria Henry with a season high 9.925 on vault. That again occurring at Eastern Michigan.
Yes, Yurchenko laid out 1.5 twist. Really difficult landing, and she did have her head down at the end, took a big step forward on that finish.
Super senior would be next for the Kent State Golden Flashes, Jade Brown. As we await the scores from the judges. For Sarah Haxton, 9.725 for Sarah.
Jade walks right under the low bar and jumps straight to the high bar for her mount. Clear hip, Nice handstand right into her Tkachev. Good catch. Up.
Oh, yeah, lost her hands on the high bar.
Yeah, did you see she went to switch her grip, and when she did that, she didn't get her hand quite all the way around there. She's going to get some chalk and regroup here.
You know, as a super senior, I call her a super senior, Shannon, but as a senior, you know, there's obviously a little bit more adrenaline going through your system. You know it's your last home meet. You want to perform extremely well, and sometimes you just can't contain that adrenaline.
Yeah, in the sport, when you try too hard, it changes the timing and the how the skill feels, and sometimes it's just not what you're expecting. And so that's probably what happened to her. It's a simple move, but you've got to get enough space between your hand and that bar that you can re-grip it right where you need it to be. Just wasn't there today.
Jade with some assistance from head coach Bryce Biggin will finish her bar routine.
Shoot over to a handstand on the low bar. Back up to the high bar. She generates a lot of speed and power here for a double layout dismount.
Well, a good finish for Jade Brown. Again, the senior out of Lansing, Michigan. This is Bree Slonim now for the Cardinals over on vault.
Yurchenko laid out full twist, took a big step forward on her landing. Not quite enough rotation to get it all the way around.
Slonim with a season high 9-8 at Eastern Michigan against Lindenwood. I beg your pardon, that was at Lindenwood on February 12th. Go back over to the bars. Kent State's Rachel Tkachev would be next. Rachel with a season high 9-9 on the season against Central Michigan here 2 weeks ago.
Rachel's a great bar worker, and she comes from nearby gymnastics world where they have quite a few gymnasts competing in the Mid-American Conference on all the local teams here.
Yeah, and she mounts the lower bar first.
She does. She goes right into a pack salto, which is that flyaway between the bars. Nice handstand on the low bar. Back up. She's locking out her handstands today. Looking great. Good speed going into her double layout dismount. Nice landing there.
Yeah, just a tiny hop on the landing, but a great performance there by the sophomore Rachel Tkachev.
Yurchenko full twist in that laid out position. One step forward.
For Kent State, we'll have Kennedy Weinpart in an exhibition on the bars. As Ball State circles around as a team in front of the vault, we'll get the scores on that final vault. I think that was an exhibition, however, Shannon, for the Cardinals. And Ball State will move over to the floor exercise, and Kent State over to the balance beam here after Kennedy Weinpart's performance on the bars.
Next on the bars for Kent State is Kennedy Weinpart.
Kennedy, freshman out of Mentor, Ohio, up on the shores of Lake Erie.
Yeah, Kennedy was coached in club gymnastics by Tom Logar, who was also a Kent State gymnast here when we had a men's team. We've gotten to see her compete on floor and vault this year, so I'm excited to see this bar routine. Huge Tkachev. That was amazing. Pack salto to the low bar.
Nicely done.
Back up, getting ready for her dismount. Nice handstand there. Blind change, front giant, double back tuck, nice landing. Wow, that's a great routine. So, you know, her being in exhibition today, that might just be a taste of what we can see in the future from Kennedy.
Well, that will wrap up Two rotations of competition here at the Mack Center, Kent State and Ball State, in what is the final home meet of the season for the Golden Flashes. Shannon and I will step aside. We'll put our mics down for just a moment. We'll be right back with all the numbers after rotation number 2 and all the action for rotation number 3. Kent State to the balance beam, the Cardinals to the floor.
Yes, and I think that's got to be something that will contribute to their confidence leading into the MAC championships. If they know that they are a team capable of scoring really high team scores, and you know, it is a subjective sport, so you see the judges, you see how that might affect each of the results of individual weekends. But if they know they've got the difficulty, they've got the strength, and they can perform on any given day, that MAC championship could be theirs.
Another senior we want to highlight is Nasha Monacool Davis. During her time here at Kent, Nasha's competed on vault, beam, and the floor. She posted a career high of 9.925 on floor twice in her career, including last season against George Washington, where she did win the individual title. She's also posted a career high 9.85 on vault last season in one of her 3 vault titles of the season. She tied for 7th place on vault with a score of 9.8 and tied for 8th place on floor with a score of 9.85 at the 2018 MAC Championships. So we wish Nasha Monacool Davis the best of luck moving forward, and we will see Nasha on the floor exercise later on in this competition. Rotation for Ball State on the floor exercise. It'll be Hannah Ruthberg, Olivia Ostendorf, Marissa Nychek, Taylor Waldo, Megan Teeter, Claudia Goyko, Sandra Elsadek, and Sari Thaler. For the Golden Flashes on beam, Samantha Henry, Riley Danielson, Sarah Haxton, Rachel DeCavich, Cami Klein, Abby Fletcher, and Jackie Harker. Kent State really needs a solid beam performance. They've struggled 2 of the last 3 weeks on the beam.
Yeah, this event, it's always kind of one that can win or lose the competition for you. That 4-inch wide balance beam, if you're just a little tiny bit off, can lead to big deductions or falls. So they're going to try to knock through each routine one at a time and just attack every skill, be aggressive up there, and know that they have the talent to do great on this event.
Kent State with only 2 perfect 10s on the balance beam in its program history. April Zentko, that occurred January 31st of 2003, but there was one before her, the first perfect 10 on the balance beam. Shannon Gallagher. Do you know her? My partner.
In a former life. That was me a long time ago, yes. It is my favorite event. I think that the difficulty and the challenge of this event is what is appealing to me, and the athleticism that it takes to tumble up there is really fun.
This is Samantha Henry.
She's starting off this routine really aggressively. She's got some great tumbling right here at the beginning of her routine. Back handspring, layout, step out. Gorgeous.
Henry with a couple of 9.8s this year against Bowling Green and Eastern Michigan. Those would be season highs for her. Looking solid thus far, Shannon.
Yeah, she's moving really well up there. She looks confident, and that's why she's in this leadoff position. You want somebody to lead this team, being first up in the event, that you know can hit a solid beam routine just like that.
Well, the junior out of Hershey, Pennsylvania, with a great starting routine for the Golden Flashes on beam, as my partner said. Let's go over to the floor exercise now. This is Hannah Ruthberg.
Hannah's opening tumbling pass is a front tuck, round up back handspring, double back.
I'm really excited to see what happens next for Kent State there.
Looks like it's going to be a 9.825 for Sam's score. Hannah's getting ready for her last tumbling pass here. Front handspring, 1.5 twist, which is a Rudy, into a straddle jump. That's a nice routine. She's excited.
Here's Riley Danielson. Riley, the junior out of St. Bonifacius, Minnesota. Danielson working her way back into the balance beam competition with a season high last week at NIU, 9.85.
Yes, Riley is so beautiful up there on the balance beam. She's got a gorgeous toe point. She's really pretty to watch, and then she's got this really big tumbling to add to that. Back handspring, lay out, step out, solid as a rock. Awesome. Front flip right into a split jump.
Yeah, Riley certainly focused. Another great beam routine for the Golden Flashes.
Yeah, she shows really good splitting elements. She does these 2 switch leg leaps right in a row. Beautiful split in the air.
.9775 was the floor exercise for Hannah Ruthberg.
Riley's getting ready for her dismount. She does a back handspring, a layout step out into a full twist. She missed her second foot on her layout step out, but she fought through it and finished that dismount really well.
Just got enough of the foot on the beam and great lower body strength to propel herself into that dismount.
That was really good awareness and a good save.
This is Olivia Ostendorf for Ball State on the floor exercise.
Starts her floor routine with a double back pike. Great landing.
Again, Ball State on the season averaging 48.932 on the floor.
Punch front layout right into a Rudy for her second pass. Finishes with the double back tuck. So a good balance of back tumbling and front tumbling in that routine.
Looked like Riley with a 9.625 on her beam routine.
Yeah, there was a bit of a discrepancy between the two judges' scores there. So her average of a 9.625 reflects one judge being a little lower than the other one.
So here is Sarah Haxton. Sarah with a personal best 9.875 against Central 2 weeks ago. Haxton, just a freshman out of Fortville, Indiana.
Back handspring layout, step out. She was a little bit off on that, but she fought to stay on that balance beam. And that's what this team needs in order for each routine to build off the next one. They need to fight for every 10th they can get up there. Switch leg leap right into a back tuck. Nice full turn. She dismounts with a punch front tuck off the end. So not her best, but she did work hard to stay on that beam and fight through it.
This is Marissa Ninecheck for Ball State. Marissa, the junior out of Fort Myers. Ninecheck with a 9.8 against Bowling Green a few weeks ago.
Beautiful first tumbling pass. Great landing there.
Not a regular on floor exercise for the Cardinals is Ninecheck, but competing here today.
Second pass, double back tuck. Little low on her landing. She really had to squat down at the end. Finishes with a front handspring right into a 1.5 twist. It's a Rudy.
Here is Rachel DeCavich now for Kent State over on the balance beam. Rachel's missed the last couple of weeks on beam, so this is a return for Rachel. Did not compete against Central Michigan or Northern Illinois.
Yeah, Rachel's got some great difficulty in her beam routine. Look for some really good tumbling. She struggled earlier in the year with some falls on her layout step out, so we'll look to see if she can get that straightened up, and I'm sure she's glad to be back in this all-around lineup today.
Season best 9.8. That was in week 2 at Pittsburgh.
And that's her unique mount that she does, that one-arm planche. Great leap pass. That's a good connection that gives her some bonus. She's getting ready to do her tumbling pass here. This is her back handspring layout step out. She wasn't going to miss that one. Good finish. Another great connection there. So she's showing lots of difficulty in her tumbling. Back handspring gainer full off the side. Great finish. Rachel will have a nice score for this beam routine today.
Yeah, great return to the beam for Rachel DeCavich and the Golden Flashes. This is Taylor Waldo now for the Cardinals.
Nice front tumbling pass to start off this floor routine. Beautiful splitting elements, that switch ring leap into a switch side.
9.825 is the DeCavich beam routine.
Punch front full to a front layout to a front tuck. She finishes with a punch front Rudy. So 3 good front tumbling passes in this floor routine.
That was Taylor Waldo back over to the balance beam. Cami Klein of the Golden Flashes, season high 9.85 personal record that set against Pittsburgh in week 2.
Cami's back handspring layout, step out, great landing. Switch leg leap, right into her jump combination. She does a little beat jump right into a side aerial, and she looked a little off on the jump right into it. So she did have to take a fall there. She'll get up and try to finish this routine as strong as she can. Hitch kick into a full twist off the side.
9.825 is the floor exercise routine for the score for Taylor Waldo. This is Megan Teeter. Megan out of nearby Copley, Ohio, just a few miles down the road.
Megan's a very powerful gymnast. Starts with a front layout into a punch front full. Second pass, nice double pike. Getting ready for her last pass here. Punch front full to a front layout.
Teeter with a season high 9.9 on the floor. We'll see what the judges score that performance. You know, Shannon, I was watching Abby Fletcher as her teammates were performing. She's been so focused over here to our right and just walking through her routine from the time that the Golden Flashes moved over here to the balance beam.
Well, she did struggle on vault earlier in this competition, and so she wants to redeem herself. And all she's got to do is just do these elements one after another that she does every day in practice. What I love about this beam routine is her amplitude. She just floats up there, so high in the air. Just a little bit off to the right side, dropped her right shoulder, and she had to take a fall on that layout step out. Huge switch side leap. She's so aggressive up there. You can tell she's not holding back. Front aerial into a front full. My heart hurts for her a little bit. I know she's capable of so much more up there, and she's going to continue to just drive herself and push herself so that she can have a great end of the season for her senior year.
Yeah, you talk about capability. She's recorded 2 9.9s on the beam already this year, and 9.875.
Yeah, when she hits that routine, there are very few deductions. She's so high in the air, and she's so beautiful on that event.
This is Claudia Goico now. for the Cardinals over on the floor exercise.
Claudia opens with a round off double back. There's no back handspring in there, but that was a huge opening pass.
That occurring the 26th of February at Eastern.
Round off 1.5, punch front layout. And finishes with a round off double back pike.
Claudia pleased with that routine. We'll go back to the balance beam. Claudia gets some congratulations by her teammates. Balance beam for the Golden Flashes. This is Jackie Harker in an exhibition. Harker, the sophomore out of Youngstown, product of Youngstown Gymnastics Center.
She opens with a front tuck right into a back salto, so she's changing directions there. She's got a forward moving element right into a backwards moving element. Beat jump right into a front tuck, lands in a scale on 1 foot. That's my favorite part of her routine. Switch leg leap into a straddle quarter. She gainers right off the end in a pike dismount. Great routine for Jackie today.
This is Sandra Elsidak, the junior out of Nokomis, Florida.
She opens with a double back pike. Second tumbling pass, punch front layout into a punch front full. Finishing up this routine with a double back tuck position. Landon got a little bit away from her, but had to take a little hop there. So Ball State with a great floor lineup today. They look strong.
I believe Ball State will have one more on the floor exercise. This is Sari Thaler would be next for Ball State. Kent State has high 49.425 for the Golden Flashes. Ball State, like you said, Shannon, a solid floor lineup. Ball State third in the Mid-American Conference on the floor exercise.
Yeah, they look really strong. They've got a lot of good tumbling, a lot of front tumbling and back tumbling both, with good splitting elements, and their dance is enthusiastic and fun.
Here is Sari Thaler. Sari, the junior out of Cranston, Rhode Island.
She opens with a punch front layout into a Rudy. She didn't have enough power there to finish her layout step out at the end. Next tumbling pass, punch front layout into a half. That finishes the third rotation. Getting ready to switch events.
Take a look at the team scorers after 3 rotations of competition. Kent State, team score of 145.325. Ball State 146.8. We'll turn our attention now over to the balance beam. This will be Olivia Ostendorf starting things off for Ball State. Ostendorf with a couple of 9.775s on the season, dating back to the end of January and the first week of February against Illinois State and Eastern Michigan. Ostendorf, the sophomore out of Ramsey, Minnesota.
Olivia does a back handspring layout, step out as her tumbling pass. Split jump into a tuck full. Front semi into a beat jump. Then she dismounts with a round off 1.5 twist, stuck landing. It's a good lead off routine for Ball State.
Here is Olivia Amade for Kent State. Amade with a season best 9.825. A couple of 9.8s on the season.
Olivia's getting ready for her first tumbling pass. Punch front layout right into a Rudy, 1.5 twist.
Ostendorf's beam routine of 9.75.
Double back. So a good start for the Golden Flashes floor lineup today.
Here is Hannah Ruthberg now. We'll go back over to the balance beam. 9.825 season high against Bowling Green. Back on the 19th of February.
Hannah mounted with a straddle back over the beam. Getting ready to tumble here. Back handspring. Lay out, step out, lay out. Oh, she tried to do a triple series there. 3 tumbling series in a row, but didn't quite have enough push on that second. Lay out, step out. She did take a fall. She's going to regroup. She finished that full turn. Two switch leg leaps in a row. Dismounts with a side aerial right into a full twist.
Kennedy Weinpert now will compete on the floor. Kennedy again, the freshman out of Mentor. Kennedy hasn't competed on floor since the Eastern Michigan meet.
We've seen her in some exhibition routines, and she's back in the lineup today. They must be changing it up a little bit, and also she's part of that depth of this event. So she is needed in a time when a freshman is going to have to step up and do a good routine. She opens her first tumbling pass, round up back handspring, double back pike, great landing. Beautiful split leaps and jumps in the air. Front handspring, front full, right into a layout. That was a gorgeous tumbling pass. She's got one more to go. The end of a long routine. Kennedy finishes her last tumbling pass, round off back handspring, double back tuck. Awesome.
Nice strong finish by Kennedy Weinpert. They're on her last tumbling pass. Shannon, over at the balance beam, there was a discrepancy, I believe, between scores, so they had a long conference, and now we'll get the score posted. Looks to be a 9.125 for Hannah Ruthberg's beam. This is now Marissa Nychek.
Marissa does a back handspring, layout, step out. Right into a beat jump. That gives her some of that connection bonus to get to her 10.0 start value.
It's like a 9.825, Shannon, for Kennedy Weinpert.
And a round off. 1.5 twist for her dismount.
Marissa there with the high fives. We'll go back to the floor. This is Tashi Richard, the senior out of Cleveland Heights.
Tashi's first tumbling pass brings lots of difficulty. Starts off with the front handspring, 1.5, to a punch back layout, step out. Huge switch leg leaps. Very nice turn. She's getting ready for her last tumbling pass here. She only does 2 because she has so much difficulty and she can do that. So here we go, front handspring, front double full, there it is. It's the consistent routine she's been able to show all season long. She's a senior and she's been showing it off.
Tashi with all smiles at the end of that routine, getting the elbow bumps and fist bumps by her fellow Golden Flashes. Craig Ballard excited about it. Take another look at it. Great finish for the senior out of Cleveland Heights. Marissa Nychak of the Cardinals, 9.775 on her beam routine. This brings up Bree Slonim now for the Cardinals.
Triple salto. She does a back handspring, layout, step out. Fits all 3 tumbling elements in one length of the balance beam. Switch leg leap into a straddle quarter. And finishes with a round off double full dismount. Nice beam routine there for Ball State.
Tashi Richard with a 9.9 on the floor exercise.
Yeah, when she hits that floor routine, there are not many deductions to be taken. So clean, such great twisting in the air. And that brings up Rachel DeCavage. And this floor routine is one to watch. Here she goes, getting ready for her first tumbling pass. Really difficult. Arabian double front tuck right into a jump. Great landing today. That's an E-level skill, the most difficult one you can do in this level of gymnastics.
Yeah, and Rachel makes it look so easy, just stuck the landing there. A couple weeks ago on that same tumbling pass, she over-rotated it slightly and went out of bounds, but held on to it there.
Yeah, it's so hard to land that because it's blind. So that means you can't see the floor before your feet come down to it. And after a half twist and 2 front flips in the air, you really have to know where you are. Punch front, round off back handspring, double back tuck. Awesome. That's so difficult to do at the very end of a routine when you're tired. She's got lots of power, and that was a good routine.
Rachel DeCavage with the elbow bumps from the Golden Flashes. We'll go back over to the balance beam now. This is Arden Hudson.
Side aerial right into a back handspring. Really beautiful and difficult tumbling pass there.
Bree Slonim on the beam records a 9.725 for the Cardinals. It's like a 9.875 for Rachel DeCavage on the floor exercise.
And a side aerial full twist dismount.
Here is Jade Brown, the super senior. She's dynamite on the floor, folks.
Yeah, watch this power. She's got so much height. Way up in the air. Great landing. Jade does a punch front layout right into a Rudy. 1.5 twist.
Season high for Jade, 9.925. That occurring here at the Mack Center against Western Michigan.
Jade's last tumbling pass here. Finishes with the double back tuck. Nicely done.
Jade Brown in her final performance in front of a home crowd at the Mack Center here at Kent State. All smiles after that. Although I don't think I've ever seen Jade not smile.
You can tell she loves what she does.
Here's Taylor Waldo on the beam for the Cardinals. Waldo with a couple of 9.85s on the season on beam against Eastern Michigan and Lindenwood.
So it's a front aerial right into a front handspring. 2 front tumbling elements. Switch leg leap, put a low in her right shoulder there, so she didn't make her connection. But she'll make it up by connecting some of her other elements here too.
Jade Brown with a 9.875 on the floor.
And dismounts with the punch Rudy in tuck position.
Here's the senior, Abby Fletcher, senior out of Oradell, New Jersey, in her final floor exercise at home as a Golden Flash.
She's a 2-time conference champion on this event, also a regional qualifier and competitor. And it's partly because of this big first tumbling pass, a double layout.
Oh, and you wonder, Shannon, if 2020 wasn't canceled, she could have been a 3-time
Right.
champion.
Yep. She's going to go for it this year.
Lively music. Teammates are into it. Fans are getting into Abby's performance on the floor.
Ready for her last tumbling pass. She does a round off 1.5 twist right into a punch front full. Very nicely done.
Yeah, she held on to that at the end.
Yeah, remember last home meet, she did sit down on that last tumbling pass, and so I think she's been working on just a little bit more power and completing that skill. She did it today.
Great finish by the senior Abby Fletcher out of Oradell, New Jersey. Such a joy to watch her perform here as a Golden Flash over the last 4 seasons. This is Sandra Elsadak for the Cardinals on beam.
She does a split jump right into a standing layout, step out. That takes a lot of strength. Switch leg leap into a straddle quarter. The back handspring layout, step out. Dismounts with a side aerial, full twist, one step on her landing. But Ball State looks really strong. They've consistently had great routines on all 4 events today.
Here is Madison Trott for the Golden Flashes. It was a 9.875 on the Abby Fletcher floor routine. Kent State with a trio of 9.875s. Jade Brown, Rachel DeCavich, now Abby, Tashi Richard with a 9.9.
Madison starts, round off 2.5 twist, punch, front tuck. Front handspring, 1.5, right into a jump. Great finish.
Madison Trott, the junior out of New Wilmington, PA. This is Lauren Volpe now.
Back handspring layout, step out. Way to wobble, but she's trying to dance her way out of that one. Switch leg leap right into a split jump. Ends with a side aerial right into a full twist off the back of the beam.
Here is Nasha Monacle Davis.
Asha opens with a punch front layout into a front full. Switch side into a Popa. She's got great splitting elements in the air. Another back handspring, double back tuck. Oh. A little low on her landing, fell backwards and did go out of bounds on her last pass. But that's our senior, and so she had a chance to compete in exhibition today on the floor exercise.
So Nasha Monaco Davis, the senior out of Greenwood, Indiana, winds up her home career at Kent State here on the floor exercise. And that will conclude this afternoon's meet. Stick around. We'll give you all of the numbers and the individual awards for each area of competition. Final team scores of the afternoon. Ball State with a team score of 195.725. The Golden Flashes 194.675. The Golden Flashes fall at home to the Cardinals this afternoon in this Mid-American Conference matchup. In the all-around competition, Ball State will finish second to Rachel DeCavich. DeCavich with a 39.025 in the all-around. Nychek with a 39 for the Cardinals. Let's review the vault results. The top finishes in vault. 3 ties for second place. Stephanie Schweikert and Arden Hudson of Ball State with a 9.8. Kennedy Whitepert of the Golden Flashes with a 9.8. And taking home the top prize in the vault competition is Marissa Nychek of Ball State with a 9.